Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review on Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 7. The title is This Is My Decision. But nope, I think it should be titled Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. I think I named it this once before, but this name fits this episode perfectly. Okay, here we go. The first couple we're talking about is Lindsay and Mark. Okay, we see the couples leaving Puerto Rico and they're flying back to Boston and moving into the apartment. Lindsay, she's just taking care of Mark. She's doing his laundry. She's offering to buy him water bottles. And Mark is a wimp. He's afraid of moving in with Lindsay. He says she's too much. All she's trying to do is take care of you. Anywho, Lindsay's just happy and she's on cloud 9. Next, we see the couples there waking up in their new apartment for the first time. And Lindsay's making fun of Mark. Here's my pen. I wanted to demonstrate why she was making fun of him. Yeah, Lindsay's making fun of Mark. He's brushing his teeth. Pretend this is a toothbrush. He's brushing his teeth like this. Instead of moving the toothbrush, he's moving his head. Who does that? That's how he brushes his teeth. Who taught him that? I think Mark is a weirdo anyway. I sure do. Don't get mad at me for saying that, but that's what I think. Okay, next, Lindsay and Mark, they go over to Mark's bed bug infested apartment. And they're covered up in suits and, masks and gloves and everything to protect themselves from the bed bugs jumping on them, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about bed bugs. Thank God. I don't need to get them. I don't want to get them ever. Don't need to see one. Don't need to experience one. Nothing. Okay? So Mark said he's going to throw clothes and sneakers in a bag. And that's all he's going to do. So they get into the apartment, and his apartment is trashed. There's no bed, there's no sofa, there's no furniture in there. I guess they got rid of all the furniture. And he had a roommate. I found out he had a roommate in there with him. So the place is trashed. So Mark shows Lindsay around. My eyelash feel like it's falling off. Okay. Mark shows Lindsay around. And they start to throw stuff in a bag, in trash bags. And Lindsay accidentally dropped something, and Mark almost passed out. He almost had a fit. Be careful, be careful. Your place is trashed. What she dropped was plastic. It didn't break, shatter, or got damaged or anything. And he's kind of annoyed with her for dropping something. Be careful, be careful. I cannot stand Mark. And he seems to be blaming her that he had to put his stuff in trash bag. In the beginning, he said out of his own mouth that he was going to put clothes and sneakers in these trash bags. And that's what he's doing. But he's saying, I wanted this to be organized. I think he said he wanted to put stuff in boxes. And if that's what you wanted to do, why didn't you do that? Mark is such a wimp. I can't stand him. Okay, next, they go to Lindsay's place, and Lindsay introduced Mark to all her plants. And Mark's not impressed with Lindsay's place. He said her place is not big enough for both of them. So you both have jobs. When you're done with whatever, when y'all done with this little Marriage at First Sight TV show, if you plan to stay together, get a bigger apartment. Get a 2-bedroom apartment. What are you talking about? Her apartment is too small. He was hoping her apartment would be big enough for both of them. He's such a wimp. Be the man. Get an apartment for both of you when you're done with this TV show. Oh, next they are at the new apartment with all 5 cats. And one of the cats is under the bed, and Lindsay's trying to get the cat from under the bed. Now, I had cats. My first husband, I had 3 cats. Me and him had 3 cats. My second husband, me and him had 2 cats. I'm a cat person. I love cats. Leave the cat under the bed, Lindsay. The cat will come out when he's good and ready. Okay, Mark says he's nervous. He says Lindsay's cats hiss. So what? He's nervous because the cats hiss? All cats hiss. Just give him a reason to hiss. He says his cats don't hiss. All cats hiss. If you give them a reason to hiss, they will hiss. If you don't give them a reason to hiss, they won't hiss. But all cats hiss. And he's nervous because her cats hiss. What are you nervous about for? This is something cats do naturally. He says if the cats don't get along, that would add pressure to him. What? If the cats don't get along, that would add... He's such a wimp. Cats get along with each other. Sometimes they fight. Sometimes they get along. That's just how it is. He worries about nonsense. That's what he worries about. Nonsense. Because why? He's a wimp. Every little thing frazzles him. Every little thing. For a man that's so big, he just pay attention to little things. He just makes little things annoy him. We see Lindsay. She's talking to the camera, and she's telling us about Mark's problems. She said his grandmother is 70 pounds and not doing well. But he's worrying about cats hissing and not getting along. But your grandmother seems like her health is declining. She's 70 pounds. And his landlord is being ridiculous. That's what Lindsay says. And she said he's stressed out because of them. Now, I can understand being stressed out because the landlady's harassing you or whatever she's doing, and your grandmother's health is declining. I can understand you being, upset at that. But cats hissing and not getting along? She said who he is off camera is completely different. And I understand that. You're not going to show who you are, that you're the fully you on camera. You're going to, say something for yourself. You're not going to show everything that you are on camera. That's a no-brainer. She says he's hot and cold and he's on. Sometimes he's on and sometimes he's off. And she said that's driving her insane. It's just obvious that he has all kinds of problems and he doesn't know how to handle his problems. His problems are just too much for him to handle. And he likes to blame Lindsay for his problems. He likes to say, oh, she's too much, she's driving me crazy. No, you have problems. You have problems in your life that you would have had if Lindsay wasn't there. Your mother in rehab. She was in rehab before you met Lindsay. Your mother has health. Your grandmother have health problems. She had health problems before you met Lindsay. Your landlord harassing you. Your landlord is harassing you because you have bed bugs. That has nothing to do with Lindsay. So Lindsay's not the one stressing you out. Yeah, and he's got to try to find a new place. Stuff like that, that's stressing you out. You got to find a place to put your cats. You got to find a place to put your clothes and everything. That's stressing you out. Lindsay has nothing to do with any of that. Next, we see Lindsay and Mark in the apartment. They're both looking stressed out. Lindsay tells Mark that she feels like she is getting two versions of him. Lindsay basically tells him that she knows that he is overwhelmed. And of course he's overwhelmed. He's going through a lot of crap. And she says his roommate and his landlord are blowing up his phone. So that's how I found out he had a roommate. And she said she wants to help him, but he won't tell her, what to do, what she can do to help him. And she tells him this, Mark just comes with too much baggage. He comes with too much baggage. And she's telling him, let me know, let me help you. And he says, I don't have two different sides. That's all he came up with. She says, I'm seeing two different sides of you. One with the cameras on and one with the cameras off. One minute you're hot, one minute you're cold. And he says, no, he doesn't have two different sides. Yes, you do. Anyway, she tells him to leave because she says she needs to be by herself. So he leaves. So the next scene, we see the pastor. I call him the fake pastor. I call him FP. So the next scene, FP comes to visit, and Mark says in his confessional that the way Lindsay says things is condescending. He says she talks to him in a condescending way. Well, tell her. Say, Lindsay, I don't like the way you're talking to me. Be a man, Mark. So Lindsay basically tells Mark that he's up and down. One minute he wants to have sex, the next minute he doesn't even want to hold her hand. And that's what he showed us when they were in Puerto Rico. You know, they had sex one night, and the next day he's telling her, I don't want to be lovey-dovey anymore. He runs hot and cold. He does. We saw that. She said her feelings are hurt and she's offended. She said she's mad. She said she's insulted. And she said she's furious. And she really got emotional because she doesn't know how to read him. One minute he wants to have sex with her, the next minute he doesn't want nothing to do with her. I'll be frustrated too. I'll be upset too. And Lindsay's talking about what's happening here and now. He starts talking about what happened at the wedding, how she got drunk and was laying on the bench. He starts talking about how she got drunk on the plane and got into it with Elijah Juan. You know, he starts talking about all this other bull crap. She's talking about what's happening here, what's happening now. He's talking about things that happened back when, you know, they had the wedding and when they had the honeymoon. So he's full of crap. He's full of crap. She wants to talk about what's happening now. And I heard the day they were in Puerto Rico and he told her that he didn't want to be lovey-dovey anymore. I heard they had sex that day about 3 or 4 times. And then he's going to tell her, oh, I don't want to be lovey-dovey anymore. He runs hot and he runs cold. He doesn't, I don't know, he's like a child. He doesn't know what he wants. He wasn't ready for this experience. He's a liar and he's a wimp. Mark is a liar. He's got a shitload of problems. A shitload of problems that has nothing to do with Lindsay. But he wants to use Lindsay as a punching bag. He wants to blame her for everything. The reason he's upset and frustrated, he wants to blame her. Oh, he's talking about, oh, she's always on 10. She's always on 10. What does that have to do with the problems that you're having now? That has nothing to do with Lindsay being on 10. I think Lindsay needs to dump him and run. I think he's sorry and weak. So the pastor, so Mike is, you know, he's crying and he's tearing up, saying how Lindsay's on 10, and he's talking about how, you know, she was at the wedding and how she was on the honeymoon and all this nonsense, and he's tearing up. And the fake pastor falls for this unstable behavior from Mark. And he asks Lindsay if she understands what Mark is saying, and Lindsay's like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. She's like, she don't know what the hell he's talking about. They're just talking about Lindsay not having a filter. That's not what upsetting him. The problems with his mother and grandmother and the landlord and the bed bugs, that's what's upsetting him. This has nothing to do with Lindsay not having a filter. And he's sitting there trying to put on an act for the fake pastor, tearing up and everything. And they talk about he's Mark the Shark. He's not Mark the Shark. He's Mark the Wimp. So the fake pastor asks Mark, what do you want from Lindsay? And he says he wants her to allow him to handle things on his own. So you couldn't tell her that, you wimp? You couldn't say, Lindsay, let me do this. Let me handle everything on my own. Okay, I know you want to help me, but let me do this on my own. You couldn't tell her that? Such a freaking wimp. I can't stand Mark. He treats Lindsay like crap. Lindsay has not done anything to this man but try to help him. And he treats her like crap. He uses her as his punching bag. That's the end of them. Now we're on to Elijah Juan and Katina. Okay, they're in their apartment and they're in the kitchen, and Elijah Juan is pointing out everything he thinks that Katina needs in order to cook for him. Elijah Juan, he's a clown, and Katina, she's Mrs. Clown. And I can't stand her wigs and her daggone outfits. It's just tight up on her and they look ridiculous. And I hate the way she allows Elijah Juan to talk to her. She says she feels pressured. Why are you allowing this man to pressure you? Elijah One takes Katina to his house for the first time. And thank God, this time she's not wearing a bodysuit, she's wearing jeans. And Elijah's house is nice. It looks a bit outdated, but it's nice. Katina didn't like the curtains in the kitchen, and she didn't like the paint on the wall. He had green paints, and she didn't like that. And Elijah One told her he wasn't changing anything. And then the fake pastor, he comes for a visit, and when he walks into the apartment, he said something smelled good. Apparently, Katina made spaghetti and garlic bread. I think she probably ordered out. I don't think she cooked that. Lies. That was probably takeout. Anyway, the fake pastor, he bust out Elijah One. He said, when we interviewed you, you didn't say cooking was a deal breaker. He's trying to manipulate Katina. Because cooking is not a deal breaker. If she can't cook, what is he going to do? Divorce her? Please. What if she cooks like Martha Stewart, but she cheats on you? Is that a deal breaker too? He's full of crap. I think he's an idiot. And I think Katina is Mrs. Idiot. So Elijah One lied and said he gets up every morning and makes breakfast for them. Lies. Liar, liar, pants on fire. That's why it should be called liar, liar, pants on fire. So the fake pastor brought up the way Elijah One speaks to Katina. The fake pastor asked them if they consummated their marriage. Well, he brought up how Elijah One speaks to Katina because he says he didn't like the way she spoke. She said I'm getting a message. He said he didn't like the way she was speaking to him. He was speaking to her. Okay. So she told him that, no, it's okay. I always put him in his place when he starts speaking to me crazy. I always, let him know. So then the fake pastor asked them if they consummated a marriage, and they said no. Elijah One basically said that he doesn't want to have sex with Katina. I don't know, maybe he's scared her wig will fall off. He said he's not having sex with her in case the relationship doesn't work. And the fake pastor told him that doesn't make sense, because if you're anticipating that the marriage won't work then. But Elijah One is a liar. Something is going on here, because at the reception he said that he was gonna, whatever Katina wants to do, whatever my wife want to do, that's what we'll do. And then when he got into the hotel room and he was laying on the bed with those stained underwears, he was talking to the cameras also, and he said, whatever she want to do, I'm ready to do. And now he's saying he doesn't want to have sex with her. Something is up. Something is going on. And Katina's just sitting there not saying anything. I don't know. She has all this energy for Lindsay, but when it comes to Elijah One, she just sits there like a lump on a log, not saying anything. Yeah, she went off on Lindsay, but she can't put Elijah One in his place. He gets to decide when they have sex. No, that's a two-way thing. You both get to decide when you have sex. He's crazy. Something wrong with him. She allows him to walk all over her. She's pathetic. The fake pastor told Elijah One that if he tells her he doesn't want to have sex with her until he gets to know her, then she might think that he's not attracted to her. And the fake pastor asked her, he said, am I right? She goes, yeah, kind of. Elijah One is a liar. Something is going on. And I want to know what the hell it is. I want to know what's going on. And Elijah One and the fake pastor, they sit there and talk about Katina like she wasn't even there. And she just sat there and didn't say a word. Enough of them. Next is Steve and Noy. We see them in bed in the apartment. And Noy's concerned that Steve fitting on the bed. They discuss her dog sleeping between them. And Steve is not happy with it. But Noy is adamant that her dog will be sleeping on the bed between them. Noy has more balls than Katina. I tell you that much. Okay, the next scene, we see Steve on his way to Noy's house. When he gets there, he meets her dog. And Steve tried to hold the dog, and the dog wasn't having it. That dog didn't like that. That dog has good taste. He knows a vagabond when he sees one. And Steve wants to know if the dog is house trained. And Noy told him yes, the dog is house trained. Steve explained to Noy that he does not like picking up dog poop. He said picking up dog poop make him nauseous. What's he gonna do when they have kids and he has to wipe his baby's bottom? I can't stand Steve. Noy and Steve are so boring. But I think next episode they're gonna come with the drama, and I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. So next they go to Steve's place, and everybody's place is tiny. Everybody's place in Boston is tiny. What's going on with that? The rent must be really expensive in Boston. So Steve's place, he has dumbbells all over the place. And Steve has a fetish with LED lights. They're all over his apartment. And he wants to take them down and bring them to the new apartment. Or he wants to buy LED lights for the apartment. That's ridiculous. He's a weirdo. Next, the fake pastor, he goes to visit. And he asks them how things are going. Pretty much Steve said everything was fantastic. And they start talking about having kids, which is ridiculous. She wants 3, he wants 2. I don't know why they're talking about this. Because they haven't even made a decision yet to be together. The decision day hasn't even come yet. They're talking about kids. What are you talking about kids for? Who knows if she can have kids? Come on now. I don't know why they make this. That discussion was dumb. Then they talk about Steve not having a job. And Noy said to she said him not having a job is scary for her because she grew up poor. And she told this to Steve, but Steve don't give a shit. He don't care. Steve said he makes money with web design and photography. And he'll always be able to make money. And Steve said if he has a full-time job, he won't be able to dream and create. What the hell does that mean? And he says dreaming and creating is everything to him. What are you talking about? He needs a 401k, he needs savings, he needs retirement, he needs health insurance. He needs to get a job. Steve said he's not about to get a full-time job. He said he ain't getting no. He didn't tell the fake pastor this, and he didn't tell this to Noy. He said this in his confessional. He ain't getting no job. Steve is not about that life. Next is Alyssa and Chris. Okay, we see Chris. He's in the apartment. He said Alyssa made the decision not to move into the apartment. Chris said that he's in the apartment because that's what he committed to in the beginning. That's what they all committed to, even Alyssa. Chris said he heard it through the grapevine that Alyssa does not think they are compatible because of tattoos and political views. He said Alyssa had told him to talk to her about the things he hears, but he says he doesn't have her phone number. That's classic. You're not having the phone number. A husband doesn't have the phone number for his wife. Chris said he is just going to wait and let Alyssa let him know what's going on between them. Next we see Alyssa. She's meeting up with her mother at a restaurant. Alyssa told her mother that she blacked out when she was walking down the aisle. Her mother said that Chris is cute and he's a great guy and he's really nice. Alyssa told her, "You haven't seen the way he treats me." Where's our pacifier? Just plug her pacifier in her mouth. Alyssa said he likes to debate until the cows come home. That's a crime right there. Debating until the cows come home, that's a serious crime. He's a really horrible person. She says he likes to argue his point. Who doesn't like to argue their point? When you think you're right about something, you're going to argue your point so people can see your point of view. What the hell is she talking about? Alyssa said Chris posted on his Instagram about defunding the police. See, now, Alyssa is a sneaky little bitch. She goes on Chris's Instagram to try to dig up dirt on him, and she found this, I guess, this information about him wanting to defund the police. Who cares? Who gives a shit? That's the big news. What I think she did is She set up filming with production so that she can drop this little bomb. She wants the whole world to know what a horrible person Chris is because he wants to defund the police. Who gives a shit? Who cares? She's so freaking transparent. See right through you, Alyssa. I wonder if she gives to the police funds. I bet you she don't. Heifer. She said she has high regards for the police. So you give them funding instead of buying 10 wedding dresses or wedding gowns and getting Botox and nose jobs. Alyssa says she does not want to look bad on TV, but she tries every single chance she gets to make Chris look bad on TV. She says things about him like he's rude, he's disrespectful, he's despicable, he's disgusting. She says she hates him. She says bad things about his profession. She says she can't stand him. She says she doesn't want him near her. The list goes on and on and on. And if he were to ever say anything like this about her, they would crucify him. You hear me? You think he can say any of these things about her? They would crucify him if he were to say anything bad about her. Alyssa tells her mother she needs trust, honesty, and respect and good communication from Chris in order to start working on the relationship. That's basically what she told her mother. She's a freaking liar. She doesn't want Chris. She doesn't want Chris because he's not an Adonis. That's all. So we see Chris, he's playing frisbee, that frisbee game with his friend. When they're done, they sit down and they talk, and Chris tells his friend that Alyssa told him that one of the reasons they are not compatible is because he doesn't have the tattoo that her psychic said that he is supposed to have, which is a tattoo of an eagle. I thought she had said needle. It's a tattoo of an eagle. I think their Boston accent must have messed me up. I don't know. Or maybe I'm going deaf. Who knows? Anyway, Chris said he does not have an eagle. And then he asked his friend, do you have an eagle? And his friend said, no, I don't have an eagle. The friend said to the camera that maybe there is some 80-year-old war vet with an eagle tattoo that she might be able, that eagle tattoo who might be her soulmate. But she got to confirm with her psychic about that. That friend of Chris, he brought her, he came down hard on Alyssa. I like it though. Chris claimed that his friend is a police. He must have gotten word that Alyssa was bad-mouthing him, saying that he wanted to fund the police funds. Because he says that this friend of his is a police. Chris tells his friend that he can't talk to Alyssa about anything because she basically believes everything other people tells her. The next scene is Alyssa goes to the apartment and the fake pastor meet them there, and the fake pastor asks what's going on, and Chris tells him that since the wedding night, Alyssa had no interest in being married to him. Chris told the fake pastor that Alyssa said that they weren't compatible, and she used words like robbed and gypped, that she was robbed and she was gypped. The fake pastor asked Alyssa, when did she first feel disappointed? She said when she first saw Chris, she didn't think he was her physical type. And she said she got even more nervous when his friends start telling her things. She's being a little bit honest there at least. When the fake pastor asked her if they talked in depth about the things she heard, she said no because other things kept happening. But she said today she wants to work on things. She all of a sudden now she wants to work on things because she wants to move into that apartment. She tells them that she wants to work on things. She said when they were paddleboarding, and then when they were playing tennis, she felt good. She's a liar, pants on fire. After they played tennis, she went to the producers and cussed Chris, what's his name? Chris out. She said, he's disgusting. He's despicable. Why does he get to move in the apartment and I don't? Why does he treat a woman this way? And she was cussing him out. But she said after she played tennis, she was feeling better about him. Liar, pants on fire. You're a liar, Alyssa. So the fake pastor said, you didn't want to stay in the suite with him. And she said she was never ever going to do that, no matter who the person was. He said, the fake pastor said to her, but you knew you were getting married. And the fake pastor told her that she showed that she didn't want to be around Chris. And Alyssa starts spewing some rehearsed stuff she rehearsed. She said the reason why she can't share the apartment with Chris, liar, pants on fire. I guess she think everybody's stupid. She said the reason she can't share an apartment with Chris is because they both have two big dogs. She says she's allergic to dogs. This is the person that says she rescued dogs, but she says she's allergic to dogs. This is the person who says she loves dogs more than she loves people, but she can't move in the apartment with him because she has a big dog and he has a big dog. She's full of crap. She just wants to move into the apartment so badly. She says she'd been trying to look for positive things in Chris, but found nothing. That's what she says. And the fake pastor told Alyssa why they choose Chris for her. I am not even going to go into that. They did charts, they aligned the charts, and blah, 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 blah. I think they matched Chris with Alyssa because they knew she wouldn't find him attractive. They knew she was superficial because when the pastor went to her apartment to talk to her, the first thing she said is, I want someone who is cute. Yeah, that's the first thing she said. And they knew he was not going to be her type. They wanted controversy because you got to have controversy to keep the viewers talking about something and interested. And then you want couples that you think that's going to actually work out. Work out. So Alyssa told the fake pastor that she wants to try now with the marriage. So the fake pastor told her to tell it to Chris. So she turns to Chris and she said, I want to move forward with. She told him she wants to move forward with him. All she wants to do is live in that apartment. The fake pastor asked Chris, how does he feel about that? And Chris says, this is my decision day. He says, Chris just did it to her. He just devastated her. Chris said, this is my decision day. And the fake pastor said to Chris, are you saying you want a divorce? Chris says, I want a divorce. I cheered. I was so happy. If I had champagne, I'd pop a bottle right now. I was so happy. So the fake pastor said, okay. Then he asked Alyssa how she felt about it. And of course, she started to fake cry. Because now she can't move into the apartment. And where did she get tissue from? Who gave her tissue? She had folded tissue going, girl, bye. She said she worked so hard to get here. I think she's talking about the Botox that she put all up in her face and her lips. And a nose job that she got. And then she bought 10 wedding gowns. I think that's what she's talking about. When she said, I worked so hard to be here. And then she started talking about how she felt lonely there. Well, you felt lonely because you wanted nothing to do with Chris. And then she said she was disrespected. I didn't see anybody disrespecting her. I saw her disrespecting the crew, yelling at them. I don't want to talk to him. I don't like him. I hate him. Don't make him come near me. I saw her yelling at the crew, and I saw her talking crap about Chris. Talking about his job. Talking about he's a car salesman who sells houses. Disrespected him. Nobody disrespected her. I saw her disrespecting the crew and Chris. The fake pastor asked Chris how he wanted to respond to Alyssa's crap, the crap that she was saying, and Chris said he was chasing somebody who didn't want to be chased. Alyssa said, if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. And we know you wanted to be there. You just didn't want to be there with Chris, Alyssa. So Chris told her there are lots of reasons to be here. He told her marriage is not one of the reasons that she was here for. He was right because she constantly said, I want to hang out with my girls. I want to hang out with my girls. So you weren't there for no marriage. Now, after you realized Chris wasn't the Adonis that you wanted. So she got pissed because he said that. She doesn't like it when he says she's not there for the right reasons. And then the fake pastor told them that the road ends here. Chris says to the camera that he is angry, disappointed, and frustrated. Alyssa she's talking to the camera and she's still trying to convince herself that she's a good person. So the fake pastor leaves out, Alyssa leaves out, then Chris leaves. And I don't ever want to see Alyssa again. Last but not least, did I say Chris and Alyssa was last? No, these are last. Justina and Michael. I'm 35 minutes in. Okay, I'm almost done. Last couple. Michael and Jasmina, they're in the new apartment, and Michael asks Jasmina how does she feel about them living together. And Jasmina told Michael that her current roommate is a guy, so she's used to living with guys every day, with a guy every day. She said the only difference is we go to separate bedrooms. So Jasmina asks Michael, she asks Michael if he has ever lived with a woman. Michael said, no, never, never. That's new territory for me. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Anywho, Jasmine asked him if he was staying at the apartment tonight, and he said yes. And Jasmina told him that she needs time to herself and she needs to go find a doggy daycare for her dog. So she told him she will not be staying at the apartment. And Michael tells her that her taking time away is not a good way to start the marriage. And I agree with him, but hell, she's not feeling him right now. So I don't blame her. So Jasmina leaves out. Next scene, Jasmina goes to Michael's apartment. And he has a picture of a naked woman on his wall. It's so tacky. He claims somebody gave it to him as a birthday gift. Jasmina asks Michael how many roommates does he have. He says 2. So she sees a female go into a room and closes the door. And Jasmina says to Michael, I didn't know you had a female roommate. And Michael says, yeah. Now, didn't she just ask that fool if he ever lived with a female? And he said, no, never. This is new territory for me. So Jasmina said, you never told me that. She said, you never told me that you had a female roommate. And Michael said, we never really talked about it. Yes, you did. She just asked you that the other day. And you said, no, liar, liar, pants on fire. Why? Why did he lie about that? I wonder if he thought she meant not just as a roommate, but as a girlfriend. Well, then say that. She said, I have a roommate. When he asked her if she ever lived with a man, she said, yes, I have a roommate. So he should have said, yeah, I have a female roommate. So he couldn't have misunderstood her. So Jasmine is annoyed that Michael lied about having a female roommate. And I would be too. What the hell are you lying for? What's the big deal? Why are you lying? She already told you she had a male roommate, so what's the big deal you having a female roommate? What's the lie? What's the reason to lie there? Next we see Jasmina and Michael. They are in the new apartment and they're unpacking. And Jasmina asks Michael if he had 2 female roommates. And he said yes. This idiot told her he never lived with a female before. Come to find out, he's living with 2 females currently. But he lied that he's never lived with a female before. What the hell is wrong with him? He's such a damn liar. And he's lying for no reason. So, he says to her, do you think I purposely hid it from you? Yes! Because she asked him if he's ever lived with a female before, and he said no. No, never. This is new for me. That's what he said. So you were hiding it. He's a lying son of a... I fire Michael. I think Jasmine needs to put her ring on the counter and walk the hell out the door. Because if he's lying about something this stupid, this dumb, this something that doesn't even make any sense, what else is he lying about? He's just too dumb for me. You know what? And he's trying to defend the reason for not telling her. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I just can't stand him. I'll never ever believe anything he says ever again. I think he disgusts me. he's saying some bull about why he didn't tell her. And then she said to him, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. I don't know. He thinks she's stupid. I don't know what his problem is. If I was her, I would make up a story. I would say, the night before we got married, I was with my ex. I hooked up with my ex. That's what I would tell him. See, just make up a lie. Because he lying, so why not make up a lie too? And see how he feels about that. And I'll tell him, it's no big deal because I didn't know you then. We weren't married or anything. I didn't know you. So it's no big deal. See how he feels. So the next scene, the pastor comes for a visit and he asks them, how's it going? And they didn't respond. They're just looking at him with big fake smiles on their face. And the fake pastor asked them, what's the problem? And Justina said, the way Michael talked to her off camera turned her off. And I said that when they were in Puerto Rico, and she said that he was disrespectful to her, he was yelling at her and everything. And I said, we don't see that on camera. So if he's showing her all that energy off of camera, then something is seriously wrong. And exactly what she's saying, off camera, he talks to her with disrespect. And he yells at her. So I don't know what the hell is going on with Michael. And then Michael says, because he told her that he goes off sometimes, now she's painting that picture of him. That's not true. When she was in Puerto Rico and she told the camera that he was being disrespectful to her and he was yelling at her, when they went out to dinner, she told him, I don't like the way you spoke to me, and he apologized for it, and he said he was working on it, and now he's saying that that's a lie. He's saying that never happened. But he apologized for it. We saw him apologizing for the way he was talking to her. I wonder if Mike is on steroids. Something's wrong with him. First, he said she cut him off when she didn't cut him off. Then he demands an apology from him. For what reason? I don't know. She didn't cut it off, so what do you want to apology for? Then he forgets that he has 2 female roommates. Then he forgets that he yelled at her and then apologized for yelling at her. Something's wrong with him up here. Something's going on. So Justina is getting irritated, and justly so. I would get irritated with him too. She said to him, Michael, every time we have a conflict, you yell at me. And Michael said he was not yelling at her. And then Justina said, we are not about to do this. Michael said he wasn't yelling. He said he may have spoken to her in a tone that she didn't appreciate, or he may have spoken to her in a condescending tone, but he did not yell at her. I don't think Michael would know the truth if it bit him in his damn ass. Justina said, so I'm a liar. You're calling me the liar. I told her then, put her ring on the counter and walk the hell out. I don't know what she's waiting for. She told him, she said, you have been aggressive and you have been yelling. And she told him, you even agreed with me that you have been aggressive. And he cuts her off. He claims she cuts him off when they were on the boat, but now he's cutting her off. He cut her off and said, I never used that word, the word aggressive. So the pastor had to jump in, and I really can't stand this pastor. He asked Justina if she is willing to forgive and move on. How the hell can she forgive and move on when he's a liar? And he's just talking to her all crazy. When he talks to her crazy, she's supposed to just forgive him and move on? No. How can you forgive someone who disrespects you, apologize for it, and then tell you it never happened? How can you forgive somebody who does that? But Justina says, okay. And then the fake pastor, I don't know what he's talking about. He doesn't live with Michael, so he doesn't see Michael's behavior. So, I don't know. I think Michael's a narcissist. Y'all know what I'm saying. And Justina is a better person than me because I couldn't deal with him. I'd have to be out of there. See, Jasmina is in misery and she knows it. Katina is in misery and she don't know it. But anyway, okay, the fake pastor gives Jasmina some dumb advice. He said the next time Michael talks down to her that she should tell him, I'm not your enemy. Instead of saying to Michael, don't do that, don't treat your wife that way, don't talk down to her, he's saying the next time he does it, so just accept it. So the next time he does it, just say, I'm not your enemy, and that's it. Are you out of your friggin' mind, fake pastor? Tell Michael not to talk to her that way, because he'll lose her. Because women don't put up with that bull crap. They don't put up with that mess. I need the pastors to go kick a boulder with no shoes on, with bare feet. Go kick a boulder with bare feet, fake pastor. You give horrible advice. Crazy. Anyway, that's the end of that. Okay, this is the end of my review. I'll be back next week with another review. Thank you very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.